Welcome back to Metropole TV. This is The Smart Investor. My name is Alikan Sachu, and in the studio we have Teddy Ogallo. Teddy is the founder of Wayawaya. He recently won the Mest Africa Challenge 2019, $50,000, so he's flush as well in equity and $25,000 worth of credit from Microsoft. And basically, I would like you to describe to us what you're doing, because it seems quite fascinating, and pleasure to have you in the studio today, Teddy.
Pleasure to have you to attend your interview. And Wayawaya is I call it a platform which creates a seamless way of users interacting and accessing financial services. You can decide to send money through WhatsApp. You can decide to send money through Facebook. It's fully digital, and the concept is to make financial transactions as seamless as possible, integrate to your ordinary individual's way of lifestyle. You talk on WhatsApp, you chat with people, sometimes even your business interaction plans and everything happens on these mass-rich platforms. So we decided to create a robust and secure solution that enables anyone around the world.
So are you saying you're sitting on top of these platforms and everyone else is plugging into you? So WhatsApp would plug into you, banks might plug into you, and for somebody like me who was a user, I would use you to do anything I wanted. Is that a correct understanding?
So that's partly correct, because we actually go out and integrate to platforms like be it M-Pesa or MTN. But the advantage we've had so far is doing a good job in integrating and building the solutions for banks. So there are banks which have this solution for their users on the pipeline, where your ordinary user, instead of going to some USSD menu, going through 5 steps to send money from your bank into M-Pesa, you just text something like withdraw 1,000 to my M-Pesa account. Normal text, natural language, it understands. Even if you use slang, it completes your transaction, creates a secure pop-up where you can enter your credentials, and transaction is completed.
When you're saying it's like a self-learning, what does that mean? It's using artificial intelligence to understand what people are saying, because a lot of people speak differently to how we used to write in the old days.
Yes.
There's a lot of slang. Is it able to understand the language?
So it is able to understand language, and this is what we call natural language processing.
NLP.
NLP, part of AI. So by progressively building and collecting data, the applications get smarter. They learn better ways of interacting with users. Our approach has been not to use a static sort of like what if in programming languages, if, what, else. It's customizable. Our bank clients are able to have an interface where they can teach their system how to interact with their users. It should not maybe interact with their users the way it will interact with another bank's users. And this is our contribution to what we believe is the future of transactional banking, where people are able to transact the same way you would talk to your wife, the same way you would talk to your maybe your employer, to give you a loan. Right now there's a bank which is piloting loans through WhatsApp, and maybe within July they'll be able to launch that. So
are you working with the bank on that?
Yes, we are the provider for this bank, for example. So loans through WhatsApp, you are talking with someone on WhatsApp and your airtime runs out. Instead of going to another app and borrowing or buying airtime, you can either buy it with your banking balance within WhatsApp itself, within Facebook itself, within Telegram itself, or you can borrow a loan there and then. It does a credit score for you, gives you a loan, you're able to purchase, you're able to send money. So that to us is part of something we've been building, which we feel is unique, not just in this part of the world, but
At the
globally.
moment, geographically, where are you? In which countries?
So geographically, legally, we are registered in the US, South Africa, Uganda, and Kenya.
Are these markets that you're currently tackling?
So these are markets we are currently tackling, but we also expanded because we are also providing services for corporates in countries like Zambia, Nigeria. Sometimes we either provide directly or in partnerships. We have partnerships with companies in Croatia, far-flung areas, but these partnerships are based on the fact that we've come up with a way that is globally accepted as the future of banking, the future of payments.
It is. I can imagine it's going to work out for most people wherever they are. You know, they're all fielding the same challenges, right? You know, multiple banking channels, multiple payments.
And you don't have to think about it. You go in, you don't have to think about, okay, how am I going to...
Okay, let me come to another question. Let's look at something like today I read in the Standard, Safaricom is being sued for 115 trillion shillings. How that number came, I don't know, but it's about data. Are you a data play?
I mean, in as much as we collect data, but our data collection is limited to conversation. How someone converses, how someone talks, how someone, there's someone who will use a lot of sheng, there's another person who, it's limited to that.
It's not,
no personal information,
okay,
no transactional information, because even when you're authorizing this transaction, there's a separate pop-up that is run by the bank, and only the bank has access to that information.
Okay, so there is, okay.
We go through all the compliance processes for the banks with our bank partners. Compliance processes are rigorous, and that's the future. Ensuring your customers have peace of mind without compromising on the way they access their services, the quality of the services you're providing.
It says here you founded Wayawaya in 2014.
Yes, actually the correct founding year would be late 2015 to early 2016, because 2014 was me transitioning from another company I had, which was doing well. We were doing a lot of things with some of the biggest card processors, card networks, banks, not just in Kenya, but Singapore, UAE. So I was transitioning into these.
Okay, so 2015, 2016, you've started. We're now 20 now. How have you funded it? I mean, what has the funding journey been so far?
Well, unfortunately, for your average Kenyan entrepreneur, it's usually baptism by fire. If you don't have good networks, your funding will be affected. That's what happened to me. And
did you have good networks or not?
I mean, I had relatively good networks, but the unfortunate thing with Kenya, maybe it was at that time, most of the high net worth individuals focus on investing in real estate. Even the guys in your board, they might be listed as maybe even the richest, highly paid, but their investment choices
maybe their minds' eyes have opened now because the real estate sector has not been so vibrant, right?
Yes.
It was like easy money before.
Yes. So, I mean, it's opening up and people are realizing that, okay, you don't have to go to those traditional investment, those what is considered safe. Because if someone invested in Wayawaya when it started out, the returns are more than 500%.
What is the value that you have put on the business today?
Well, I can't say on air, but it's exponentially higher than when you started out.
And you are the majority shareholder?
Yes, for now I'm the majority shareholder, and like any other startup, you build scale, you build transactions, good revenues, so that as you start Series A investment,
You haven't
books
done a
are clean.
Series A.
Yeah. So
That's very important. You need to be always ready to go, right?
to go, yeah. So you ensure you have a clean setup so that you are ready to
So you're playing like an Uber platform strategy, right? You want to be above all these platforms, and you want to make life much more seamless and intuitive for the user, seems to me, to what you're doing.
Exactly.
And that application does not necessarily just apply in Kenya, it could apply worldwide if you hit it right.
Yes.
How many users do you have on your Uber platform now?
So at least we've restricted the standalone application to around 9,000 active monthly users, because we are trying to make this sort of like a focus group where we learn how these guys talk. Maybe quarter in the US, another quarter in the UK, slightly higher than quarter in Kenya, some in Uganda. You learn different ways and different services guys want and prefer. And we've also done direct integrations with not just billers in Kenya, but even in countries like Uganda, in Nigeria, to ensure that we've catered to the point-to-point bit of transacting. Then we also serve enterprise clients. Right now we are piloting with 3 banks, one on proof of concept in Kenya. We also have 2 banks in Uganda, one telco in Zambia, and another financial technology company, one of the biggest in Africa, headquartered in Nigeria. Those are the partnerships, some of the partnerships we have in Africa.
Teddy, you know, you're an entrepreneur. It's been your idea. You're now 3 years down the road. Do you get scared? Do you feel confident about about execution? Because it's not just the idea. You've got to raise the capital, and then you've got to execute. Do you feel confident about all those 3 elements? Because you're a real live entrepreneur doing exactly that, right? What keeps you up at night? How do you keep pushing? Because you've got lots of different hats at the same time, right?
You know, an entrepreneur has to love what he's doing. He has to believe
you're
in
passionate.
it.
You like it.
Definitely.
This is your life.
Yes.
Yes.
So you almost feel like it's your baby. And it's not just for your personal improvement. It's you look at your customers. How are you going to solve their problems? That's the key thing. You're solving problems. You're not just creating gimmicks. You interact with your users, follow up on why they took this and that step. Then you solve their problems. Then progressively you build a solution that is relatable to your clients.
And now you're describing, you're going from 9,000, which you're calling like a test case or a test user group, and you're possibly going into multiple countries.
Yes.
That evolution for you, are you confident about moving your assets into new countries, making sure that they deliver for you? How do you feel about that's a big step, right? From the guy who started in 2015 and 2016. You're describing telco, technology, bank integrations. You've got momentum here, right? You've been awarded this award. So what takes up more time? What you've described, understanding your customer in all these other places, or thinking about how I'm going to go viral and conquer the world and be the first unicorn?
Well, at least I can say my approach from the word go was to build that network that would form sort of like a foundation for when we are ready to scale up, so that you don't start building that maybe tower from the first floor, the second floor. We started from the word go. We focused on the partnerships, integrations, and ensured we had that as a checklist item that was ticked off before we now go into heavy marketing, so that when we are marketing to users anywhere, there are no service disruptions. We've just won this award, which also includes heavy Microsoft support. So that will mean that we don't have server problems, infrastructure issues. We'll be able to scale as quickly as our users grow. So these partnerships are also helpful, not just for me, but for entrepreneurs out there. They have to look at strategic partnerships with like-minded companies, like-minded partners, investors, who also share the same belief in changing people's lives through the products they push out to them.
A lot of people that come in here complain and say, you know, some banks really don't get it. I'm dealing with the wrong people. I haven't got the right ICT individual. I'm talking to ICT. I'm not talking to the management. How do you navigate that kind of space?
So actually, our products have been based on that. Even myself, I complain to my bank every other weekend because they are down for one reason or another. It doesn't make sense. On Saturday, they send you a message that mobile banking will not be available. So instead of just complaining on Twitter, I looked at this as an opportunity to solve problems for people like me, to make this service accessible, not just through an app, but through platforms that users use every day. And this is then aimed at removing that situation where a user complains that this bank does not get me, because you have this automated system that learns your habits specific to you, offers services. When you come into this chat or this app, it tells you, Ali, you forgot to pay your Kenya Power bill. It's like 9,000. And it's already figured that maybe you usually get paid on 3rd. So on 4th, yeah, you should make your payment. Should I make it for you? And you just
So it's actually even teaching you good money management skills.
Good money management. And hopefully as we build more data and we learn more, we'll be able to tell. I mean, for me, it's a problem. When I have some extra cash in my bank, I might go and splurge more than I planned. I mean, I would love a system that tells me, hey, you're overdoing it.
Like 12 p.m. at night somewhere, you're overdoing it.
You're overdoing it.
Time to go home.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you won't pay your KPLC.
And you won't pay, yeah. So that's what we are building.
So that's very interesting. So it's also behavioral economics you're looking into, right? You're looking at making life more seamless, but you're also looking at how can I help in terms of behavioral economics.
Yes.
Right. I hear you. I understand you. I see the opportunity. What's keeping you up at night?
What's keeping me up at night? Seeing this transformation on everyone's doorstep, on everyone's pocket, making a change, making a positive change in how the banks and payments ecosystems function. I think there has not been an innovation since ATMs. I mean, mobile banking is still.
So you're a revolutionary, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Yes.
And I hope to succeed. Like every other revolutionary, I hope to succeed. So that keeps me up late at night, working, tinkering, trying. Sometimes you fail, but you learn from it.
Let's stick with that. It was a pleasure speaking with you today, Teddy Ogallo, founder and CEO of Wayawaya.
Thank you.
A real
so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you for coming into Metropole.
Thanks
when
for
you
having
do
me.
make your big announcement, we'll expect to see you again, and you
Thanks.
can share with us what that announcement is then.
Yes, we will. We will with our bank partners, and we would love your audiences to have this as a follow-up. And the promise made by Teddy and Wayawaya was kept. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
This was Metropole TV. This was The Smart Investor. My name is Ali Khan Sachu, and it's been a pleasure being with you for the last 1 hour. And of course, having such an inspirational entrepreneur, founder, guest, Teddy Ogallo. Thank you.